Yin-Yang Master's Journey to Another World, Chapter 6. 8. Chinese Long Fantasy Novels. Chapter 6. The young master takes action. A figure moved as swiftly as the wind, darting through the hole in the roof with agile grace and landing silently. Dressed in a tight-fitting gray outfit and wearing a mask that concealed his face, the man appeared to be a lanky individual. Through the mask, Ren Tianxing stared in astonishment at the infant sitting on the couch, his mind going blank once again. What's going on? Isn't their young master right here in the room? Why all the fuss? Are they all blind? Ren Tianxing had been thieving for quite some time, but he had never been so perplexed and stimulated as he was today. He couldn't figure out what was happening at all. Could it be that everyone in the general's mansion was playing a game of kidnapping children for no reason? He slapped his forehead, making sure he wasn't dreaming and that what he was seeing wasn't an illusion. Looking around the room, he couldn't help but feel even more puzzled. It was clear that, aside from himself, there were no signs of any intruders in this room, and he was quite certain of this. If only my master was here, with his extensive experience, he might know what's really going on. Ren Tianxing thought to himself, making up his mind to ask his master about it when he returned. Eastern Xiuzhe, with his bright, large eyes, watched the intruder before him, wondering which path this strange man came from. The odd attire, the peculiar manners, nothing about him seemed like someone from the mansion. A thief and a Yin-Yang Master, two different professions. Yet here they were, colliding under these circumstances. Who could predict what kind of sparks would fly? Seeing the masked man approach him, Eastern Xiuzhe had already determined that this fellow harbored ill intentions towards him. Strike first to gain the upper hand. As soon as this thought arose, Eastern Xiuzhe began to take action. His hands, white as jade, crossed and formed a peculiar seal. With his fingers constantly changing, sounds akin to a babbling brook spilled out. Such behavior would undoubtedly be seen by anyone as a natural expression of an infant, and not given a second thought. Ren Tianxing was no different. He didn't pay attention to Eastern Xiuzhe's unusual actions. In his eyes, what threat could an infant pose? Today's events are too bizarre. I'll just take you away first, to avoid any further complications. The King of Thieves had already stretched out his hands, planning to pick up the infant on the couch. Outside the room, chaos had erupted, with shouts and search efforts blending into one. Almost everyone had joined the search party. Although the number of people had increased, the guards had become lax. Ren Tianxing knew he had to take advantage of this opportunity. Otherwise, once order was restored, his escape would not be so easy. Although his movements were exceptional, his combat abilities were quite ordinary. In a place like the general's mansion, filled with skilled masters, if he got entangled, it would be difficult for him to escape again. A smile appeared on his face. Stealing away the infant before him seemed like a done deal. He could leave as he came, taking advantage of the outside chaos, and leaving without anyone noticing if there were no accidents. Just a few steps away from the infant, a dazzling light suddenly appeared out of thin air, blinding him for a second or two. In those 1 or 2 seconds, his entire world changed. When he opened his eyes again, he stood there motionless like a stone sculpture. The surroundings were no longer inside a room, but on a towering dueling platform that reached into the clouds, with a bottomless abyss below. Piercing cold radiated from thousands of suspended blades in the air, their tips pointing directly at him. Even with the King of Thieves' extensive experience, he was stunned by this sudden turn of events. His mind went blank in an instant. This is a spiritual attack. Could it be that I've been discovered by a master? Ren Tianxing was shocked as he realized only a spiritual attack would fit what was happening before his eyes. He didn't expect that the general's mansion really did have masters. At that moment, a long sword suspended in the air flew over, and as Ren Tianxing thought it was just an illusion, it slashed through his sleeve. This isn't an illusion? His eyes widened more than double, and Ren Tianxing's heart leaped into his throat. He only had a rudimentary understanding of spiritual attacks, having heard about them from his master, and this was the first time he had experienced one firsthand, not knowing how to deal with it at all. He wasn't given much time to ponder as those suspended blades began to whistle towards him one after another. Ren Tianxing didn't want to be stabbed like a honeycomb and started to dodge left and right. As his speed increased, the attacks of the blades also became faster and faster, wave after wave, without a moment's rest. What a terrifying attack, heavens. What kind of master have I encountered? Ren Tianxing's heart grew colder and colder. Such invisible enemies were truly terrifying. Beads of sweat began to form on his forehead. This kind of airtight attack kept his spirit in a state of high tension. Could it be that I, the King of Thieves, am going to die here today? Meanwhile, Dongfang Xiuzhe watched the increasingly fast afterimages of Ren Tianxing in the room, and his gaze began to heat up. Such speed, such a handsome move. Dongfang Xiuzhe felt the strange energy fluctuations emanating from the other party and wondered if this was the so-called fighting spirit. Knowing that this kind of optical illusion couldn't last long and would sooner or later be seen through by the other party, Dongfang Xiuzhe had to temporarily put away his heart of appreciation and pinch the seal again. Strength is still too low, if only I could cast a barrier. While sealing, Dongfang Xiuzhe thought with emotion and thought about how to improve his cultivation speed again. A child with such strength can make a thief who comes and goes without a trace spin around, and he is still not satisfied. How abnormal does he want to be satisfied? With the completion of the seal, the petals scattered on the table in the room flew up in the air, turning into invisible butterflies, flying towards the thief who was still dodging quickly. With a wave of his little hand in the direction of the door, the tightly closed door bang opened, and the passing guard outside immediately found the thief inside. "Here!" A shout came from a guard's mouth. In an instant, a large number of people began to gather here, including some fighting skills masters, and they came to the door in a few jumps. Dongfang Xiuzhe seized the opportunity to withdraw the illusion array that trapped Ren Tianxing, and he didn't want too many people to know his secret at the moment. Ren Tianxing was about to rush out of the sword array, at the risk of injury when his eyes were dazzled and returned to the original scene. There was no time to be happy, and the current situation still didn't allow the thief to have a bit of thinking space. He had already seen the guards rushing towards the door with a murderous look. "Bad. It's really discovered." The thief screamed and quickly used his unique fighting skill, Meteor chasing the moon step, reaching out to pick up the baby on the soft chair, and with the tip of his foot, he rushed out of the hole he came from like a flying crane. The thief must not escape. Several masters were only a beat slower and followed closely behind. However, the speed of these masters was obviously worse than that of the thief. No matter how they increased their fighting spirit, the distance was still widening. "Thief, put down the young master." With a roar of anger, more and more people chased after them. The whole general's mansion was like a pot that had exploded, and the arrayed groups of archers had already drawn their bows, but they didn't dare to shoot for fear of hurting the young master. This seems to have turned into a competition of speed. I, Ren Tianxing, dare not say anything else, but if you compare speed with me, I will not lose to anyone. Ren Tianxing glanced at the masters left behind and increased his speed again. Don't look at him being consumed a part of his fighting spirit by Dongfang Xiuzhe in the room, but at this time, he still easily played hide and seek with the masters, using his agile body. "Bold thief, put down my son." The fire rose into the sky, and a furious voice suddenly sounded, and the whole general's mansion trembled for 3 times. The person who came was no one else but Dongfang Long, who was furious and came to learn about the news. Such a domineering fighting spirit, this is the legendary flame fighting spirit, which is really well-deserved. From a long distance, the Thief King felt the scorching heat. Ren Tianxing made a leap and was ready to change direction and speed up. He didn't want to even make a move with Dongfang Long, but things didn't go as he wished, and a sudden hot wind came from behind. Damn it! Ren Tianxing's body rose from the ground, and a fist wrapped in flames passed by the soles of his feet, the result being that his pair of expensive crocodile skin boots were burned through on the spot. Ren Tianxing's face turned pale with fear. If he hadn't dodged in time, he would probably be dead or disabled. He didn't dare to slack off at all, and Ren Tianxing turned his body method to the maximum power, and the whole person was like flying. However, what he didn't expect was that Dongfang Long's short-distance explosive power was very amazing. With a loud noise, Dongfang Long stepped a deep pit in place, and the whole person chased Ren Tianxing like a ball of fire, and another punch was thrown out. This time, Ren Tianxing was not so lucky as before. His clothes were burned, and his back was also wiped by the wind of the fist. Just a wipe of the fist wind made him feel like he was hit hard by a hammer. Ren Tianxing didn't dare to stop any longer, and he endured the pain on his body and continued to run. He knew that as long as he stopped a little bit, Dongfang Long, who was furious, would definitely tear him to pieces. It was so hot outside, but Dongfang Xiuzhe in the room was very relaxed, leaning back on the sofa, watching the image presented on the wall, sometimes marveling, sometimes envious, enjoying the appearance, as if watching a live broadcast on a large LCD screen. Wasn't he supposed to be taken away by Ren Tianxing? How could he still appear in the room? If it was him in the room, then what was it that Ren Tianxing was holding in his arms? Chapter 07, The True Face. Watching Ren Tianxing's receding back, Dongfang Long punched a giant stone pillar, which shattered with a loud noise. At this moment, Dongfang Long was enveloped in fierce flame-fighting spirit, like a huge flame burning, and even his eyes were emitting fury. He failed to save his son and could only watch helplessly as the thief left, a feeling like a knife twisting in his heart. Although Dongfang Long's fierce flame-fighting spirit has the characteristics of great destructive power and strong explosive force, this kind of fighting spirit has insufficient endurance and consumes more than other types of fighting spirit. Therefore, after a long pursuit, he was gradually left behind by the thief king Ren Tianxing. Speaking of Ren Tianxing, after successfully escaping from the general's mansion, he did not dare to stop at all and ran all the way, not taking the city gate, but directly jumping over the city wall that was dozens of meters high. Then he ran dozens of miles before stopping by a river to catch his breath. Sweat had soaked his clothes, and with the shock and fear, Ren Tianxing's fighting spirit was also consumed a lot, and most importantly, he was injured, relying on the support of his spirit to let him keep running so far. Dongfang Long is indeed well-deserved. If it weren't for the baby in my hand, I might really have to explain it at the general's mansion. Ren Tianxing put the swaddling clothes aside with some fear. It was all for this little guy, which almost cost him his life, and almost smashed the Thief King's sign left by his master. Knowing that the pursuers could not catch up so quickly, Ren Tianxing saw that there was no one around and took off his mask to breathe, but did not notice a flash of light in the eyes of the baby in the swaddling clothes. Subsequently, Ren Tianxing twisted his limbs, and after a series of crackling sounds of bones, his body actually grew taller by more than a foot. In fact, this is his true figure and face. It is hard to believe that the thief king, Ren Tianxing, who has many rumors, is not very old, should be only about 20 years old, with a delicate face, straight nose bridge, quite handsome. If walking on the street, no one would associate him with the thief king. Ren Tianxing felt that he was quite lucky today, and he was able to escape from the siege of so many people. The important thing is that he was not torn apart by the furious Dongfang Long, which also did not humiliate the unique skills passed on to him by his master. However, today's incident made Ren Tianxing realize his own shortcomings. If his master had come out, he would definitely not be so embarrassed. He decided to close the door and practice for a period of time after this storm. With this decision, the mood was more relaxed, and the line of sight fell on the swaddling clothes, and he couldn't help but laugh. There is indeed nothing in this world that the thief king can't steal. The son of Dongfang Long, known as the Iron-Faced General, is now not successfully stolen by me. Mentioning this baby, Ren Tianxing couldn't help but think of his experience in the room, the feeling of being in the sword array, which still made him feel scared when he thought about it now. It seems that I really need to learn more skills from my master, and I will also ask him what that move is. After retracting the thoughts, he glanced at the baby in the swaddling clothes who was staring at him with big eyes, and Ren Tianxing couldn't help but feel a bit difficult. What should he do with this child? Although he is not a gentleman, he is not a bad person either, and he doesn't want to lose his conscience and use the baby to exchange for money. Although he came to steal this child, he was hired by someone else, but more importantly, he was provoked by the other party. He is not a person who lacks money. You are quite honest. I have been holding you and running such a long way, and you haven't cried at all. Ren Tianxing simply sat down in front of the baby. Do you know how valuable your life is? Someone is willing to pay nearly 1,000,000 gold coins to hire me to steal you out, and you are still so comfortable and leisurely. Sighing, Ren Tianxing said again, although it was me who stole you out, I don't want to hand you over to be at the mercy of others. Otherwise, if my master knew, he would definitely expel me from the school. Your father's men will catch up soon, and then you can go home safely. After thinking about it, Ren Tianxing finally decided to leave the baby here. After calculating the time the pursuer should be here, Ren Tianxing put on the mask again, and once again became a thin figure, and was about to leave. A vague voice suddenly rang out. Are you leaving like this? Who is talking? There is no one around here, and everything is silent. But it is precisely because of this that Ren Tianxing is more nervous. With his ability, he didn't even know there was someone else nearby. If this person wanted to do him harm, wouldn't he be in trouble? Looking around, he didn't find any clues, not even a beast. It was really a ghost. I didn't expect that you would have such skills at such a young age, and your future prospects must be limitless. However, it's a pity to be a thief. Considering that you still have a good heart, I will give you a chance. Do you want to work with me? The childish voice rang out again. This time, Ren Tianxing was particularly attentive, and he was surprised to find that the voice was actually coming from the swaddling clothes. His mind went blank for a moment. Ren Tianxing's eyes widened. He couldn't believe it was true. However, there was something even more surprising. The baby in the swaddling clothes actually stood up straight, completely defying gravity, and looked at him with a serious look, as if waiting for his reply. Ren Tianxing was speechless and couldn't say a word. There's no need to be so surprised. Could it be that you are afraid of a baby like me? The baby spoke again, and this time Ren Tianxing was quite sure that the one talking to him was the young master he had stolen. To be honest, Ren Tianxing was really scared at this moment. I appreciate your talent very much, and thousands of troops cannot trap you. Follow me, and I will let your talent be maximized. What do you think? Would you consider it? The baby asked with a tone that was almost like human trafficking. Ren Tianxing still didn't speak, but took a few steps back. At this time, he couldn't find the right words to describe his shock. He never thought that the child he stole from the general's mansion would be such a little monster. He hadn't grown his hair yet, and he could negotiate. This is too much. The sound of pursuers has come from the distance, but Ren Tianxing seems to be paralyzed by someone and can't move at all. In the end, it was this baby who reminded him. The pursuers are coming. You should run away quickly. I believe we will meet again in the future. With these words finished speaking, poof, a puff of white smoke emerged from the ground. After the white smoke, the baby who was just talking turned into a petal and floated down from the air. This is too magical, right? At this moment, Ren Tianxing sadly found out that he was too young. In the deep mountains and dense forests, there is a delicate wooden house. Yaxing So stands in front of the window of the wooden house, looking at the scenery outside in a trance. Tianxing, this child has not come back for several days, will not have something go wrong. The deep wrinkles on Yaxing So's face are now full of anxiety. Thinking of his only apprentice, Yaxing So sighed deeply. Although his apprentice is outstanding and smart, he is arrogant and has only learned a little bit from himself, thinking that there is nothing in the world that he can't steal. Still too young. I don't know that there are people outside of people, and the sky outside of the sky. When can you get rid of this problem? Sometimes Yaxing So really hopes that his apprentice will make a mistake once, so that he can learn a lesson, preferably a thrilling but safe experience. Just as he was thinking, a figure passed through the trees as fast as lightning, heading towards the wooden house. Well, this meteor chasing the moon step has 3 points of my skill. It seems that he has made progress again. Yaxing So stroked his beard and walked out slowly. Master. At this time, Ren Tianxing was still a look of being frightened. He ran back here at the fastest speed, and his speed has broken his previous record. The two entered the room, and Ren Tianxing narrated the experience in detail. He spoke very detailed, without exaggeration, but still let Yaxing So listen to a shocked face. Mental attack? A talking baby? The baby turned into a petal? What is this all about? Even though Yaxing So has seen a lot of strange things, he is still confused. Nonsense. Don't weigh your own weight. Dare to make trouble at the general's mansion. Do you really think you are invincible in the world? Disciple knows he was wrong. Ren Tianxing's words are from the heart. If there is any gain from this experience, it is to let him deeply realize his own shortcomings. Yaxing So looked at the embarrassed Ren Tianxing and thought, this is also good. With this lesson, he should learn to restrain himself in the future. Master, what about the baby? Ren Tianxing still can't forget this question. What's the matter? I think you are making up a set of rhetoric to deceive me. Don't think so. Yaxing So snorted coldly, later copied the Thief's Sutra 300 times. Master, I'm telling the truth. I really didn't lie to you this time. Ren Tianxing looked aggrieved. I have lived for so long, but I have never heard of any baby speaking at birth, let alone negotiating. This is clearly a demon. Do you think I will believe your words? A demon? Yes. That baby must be a demon. Ren Tianxing suddenly became excited. Dare to talk nonsense. Copy the Thief's Sutra 500 times. Master, I'm telling the truth. Add 200 more copies. Master, 1,000 times. Chapter 08. Harm and Counterattack. Everyone in the general's mansion was amazed by one thing. They clearly saw the young master being abducted by the thief, but why did they find the young master safe and sound in the cradle in the room? If one person is dizzy, it is still understandable, but are so many pairs of eyes all dizzy? This matter is indeed very strange. People think about it until they break their heads and can't figure it out. However, everyone is tired and busy for a day and has no heart to consider the strangeness of this matter. The young master can be safe, even if it is a great fortune. For Dongfeng Xiuzhe, who caused all the trouble, he also didn't expect that his joke would end up being true, and someone really came to rob him. This made him wonder in his heart, who is the person behind the scenes who hired? What is the purpose? Is it someone who has a grudge against the Dongfeng family and wants to retaliate? Dongfeng Xiuzhe once again realized the inconvenience brought by the baby's body. Otherwise, he could find out the identity of the person behind the scenes. Today's turmoil has made Dongfeng Xiuzhe have a vigilant heart, knowing that the more he is born in a wealthy family, the more there are various potential dangers. On the other hand, it also let him grow up and generally understand what kind of thing the fighting spirit is, and also has a preliminary understanding of the martial arts in this world. It seems that I still need to work harder to grow my strength. Sighing, Dongfeng Xiuzhe realized that this world also speaks with strength. When the figure of the thief king Ren Tianxing flashed in his mind, Dongfeng Xiuzhe couldn't help but reveal a shallow smile at the corner of his mouth. He has already seen the true face of this kid, and he admires the other party's skills very much. He has also secretly marked the thief king, and in the future, even if Ren Tianxing has a fast hand, he will not escape his Dongfeng Xiuzhe's palm. What is the most valuable thing in the world? In Dongfeng Xiuzhe's value system, it is not those so-called gold and silver jewelry, but talent. In this life, Dongfeng Xiuzhe still retains the heart of thirsting for talent in the last life. When he sees someone with talent, he wants to recruit them for his own use. Even if he can't recruit them for his own use, he will make friends with them. Dongfeng Xiuzhe has a feeling that the thief king Ren Tianxing will sooner or later become a tiger general under his command. This is like a fate arrangement, so he is not in a hurry to see the other party again. He just needs to wait for the right time to come. The general's mansion finally returned to calm. Dongfeng Xiuzhe finally got what he wanted and was named Dongfeng Xiuzhe by his parents. However, Dongfeng Xiuzhe couldn't be happy, because after this incident, the general's mansion was more strict with him. Not only did he increase the manpower, but he also placed personnel indoors. And there were people staring at him 24 hours a day to prevent him from being stolen by thieves. As a result, Dongfeng Xiuzhe could no longer take advantage of the quiet of the night to test the Yin-Yang 5 elements art as before. Fortunately, he can pretend to sleep while cultivating, because he is motionless, and others can't see any clues. Dongfeng Bao slammed his fist on the table fiercely, causing the tea in the cup to splash out. Just received the news that the plan to steal Dongfeng Long's son failed. What thief king? What steals all over the world without failure? It's all nonsense. Can't even steal a baby. Dongfeng Bao's face was gloomy and terrible. Knowing that this matter has already startled the snake, it is not so easy to steal Dongfeng Long's son again. Although he doesn't have to worry about being found out as the person behind the scenes, he is really unwilling. Husband, there is no need to be so angry. If one plan fails, we still have another plan. If we can't fight Dongfeng Long, can't we frame a baby? Kui Meiling came over with a twist. Dongfeng Bao looked up at his wife and asked in a cold voice, "What's your idea?" Husband, have you forgotten that in a few days it will be the baby's full moon day, and then we can do this? Kui Meiling whispered in Dongfeng Bao's ear. Dongfeng Bao's gloomy face suddenly smiled, hugged his wife and praised, "Good idea. It is really a good idea. Ha ha ha." Time passed quickly day by day, and in the blink of an eye, it was the day of Dongfeng Xiuzhe's full moon. The full moon is to drink the full moon wine, and this world seems to have this practice. On this day, many people came to the general's mansion, all relatives and friends. Dongfang Xiuzhe not only saw his eldest sister, who was far away, but also saw his father's two brothers, Dongfang Hu and Dongfang Bao, that is, his second uncle and third uncle. For some reason, Dongfang Xiuzhe always felt that his father and these two brothers were not alike at all, not only in momentum but also in appearance. Moreover, it can be seen that these two brothers seemed to have a prejudice against their father. Although they didn't say anything harsh, the look in their eyes when they looked at their father was particularly obvious. There are many people coming, 7 aunts and 8 aunts, and even relatives who are a little bit related, all saying some flattering words. Dongfang Xiuzhe is too lazy to remember them. To be honest, Dongfang Xiuzhe doesn't like this kind of lively scene. He would rather stay alone in the room than be the object of everyone's teasing. Little nephew is so cute. Come, let the aunt hold it. A woman dressed in luxury opened her arms and reached out to take Dongfang Xiuzhe, who was lying in her mother's arms. This person Dongfang Xiuzhe knows. She is the wife of his third uncle, Dongfang Bao, Kui Meiling. Ji Xuping stared at Kui Meiling, hesitating. Sister-in-law, are you still afraid that I will eat the little nephew? Kui Meiling said with a smile. Shi Chuping hesitated for a while, but in the end, considering that this was her own home and there were so many guests present, she handed the child over with peace of mind. At that moment, Dongfang Xiuzhe felt a flash of viciousness in the eyes of this third aunt who held him. Is this an illusion of oneself? Dongfang Xiuzhe became vigilant against the woman who held him. The little nephew has such big eyes, and he will definitely be a charming and handsome man when he grows up. I don't know how many girls will be fascinated. Kui Meiling flattered and held Dongfang Xiuzhe to sit aside. At the moment of turning around, no one saw that a small red pill appeared in her palm. She cleverly used the angle of the line of sight to block it and stuffed the pill into Dongfang Xiuzhe's small mouth. This should not be a good medicine. The characteristics of this medicine, it melts as soon as it enters the mouth, and the dormant period is very long before it is attacked. When something goes wrong, no one will suspect her. What a vicious mind. Dealing with a baby is like this, and it can be seen that she is definitely not a good person. However, she never thought that the baby in her arms is not a simple one to be bullied. After the woman successfully fed the pill, she exchanged a look with her husband, Dongfang Bao. Only Dongfang Xiuzhe could see this angle in the room. The two people thought that this matter was done without anyone knowing, but they never thought that their conspiracy had long been seen through by Dongfang Xiuzhe. In his previous life, Dongfang Xiuzhe had seen a lot of deceit in the court, and how could he not understand what this was all about? Dongfang Xiuzhe sneered in his heart. You are such a venomous woman, actually trying to harm me. If I don't give you some benefits, you will think that the Yin-Yang Master is easy to bully. After thinking about it, he secretly made a seal with his hand, and he was about to start counterattacking. No one would care what the two little hands of a baby mean, and Kui Meiling would never think that the seemingly harmless baby in her arms is actually a person who must retaliate. Kui Meiling saw that the goal was achieved and planned to hand the baby back to Shi Chuping. However, what happened next was beyond her expectations and made the entire hall silent. Ah! A scream suddenly came out of Kui Meiling's mouth. She was like seeing a ghost, and she suddenly dropped the baby in her hand to the ground.